Welcome to this yoga practice. We're going to be covering a little bit of everything so that you can end up feeling very balanced. Balance between strength and flexibility, between stability and mobility, and just being able to move through your day with a feeling of grace and ease. So let's start on our hands and knees and tabletop. Now flip your hands so you're on the top of your hands with your fingers spreading apart. You can have your hands closer to your knees, which is a little easier. You can control how much weight you put into your hands, or you can have your hands further forward. Begin to rock forward and back. Flip your hands so your fingers face your knees again, or out to the side, whatever you can manage. Again, your fingers can be closer to your knees or further away. Begin to cat-cow here. Moving slowly, letting your breath lead the way. And sit back on your heels, peeling your fingers away from the floor. Bring your hands behind you, stretch your knees forward, and think of lifting your thighs up as you stretch your knees forward and hug your legs in towards each other. Lower your hips down, lift your toes away from the floor, and grab the bottom of your toes with your hands if you can. Otherwise, you can have your hands wherever they'll reach, and lean forward, stretching out the top of your foot. By leaning forward, lifting the toes up. And lean back, bring your hands behind you. This time lift your knees up, pulling your knees towards your chest, and see if you can find a balance. Nice, slow your knees down, come back into tabletop. Stretch your right leg back, float it up. Begin to externally rotate and internally rotate your hip. So the hips stack when they're externally rotated, and they're parallel when they're internally rotated. Next time your hips are externally rotated, swing your leg all the way forward to the front of your mat. Bring your hands to your knees and stretch forward and back. Bringing your knee past your toes if you can, and stretch back. Next time you're forward, lower your hands down. Bring your right foot to the outside of your left leg and rock back and forth. If you can go all the way down, you can lower your hips down. If you can't, you just rock as far as you can. And then come on up. So you're standing on your knees, step the top foot forward. And again, move forward and back. Step back into tabletop. Reach your left leg back. Float your leg up and begin to externally rotate and internally rotate your hips. Very mindfully and consciously. So you feel that movement deep in the hip socket. Next time you're externally rotated, step your foot all the way forward. Lift up, bring your hands to your knee and stretch forward and back. You can go back as far as you're comfortable. Next time you're forward, lower your hands to the floor, pick your left foot up, slide it over to the right. So your left knee is in front of your right. Bring your feet apart and begin to rock back and forth, maybe going all the way down or just part way down. And come all the way up, resting, balancing on your knees. Step your left foot forward. Bring your hand to your knee and stretch forward and back. You can always use your hand on the ground or on blocks. And step back into tabletop. Just swish your spine all around. Sit back on your heels or sit back on a block or come back to seated, whatever is most comfortable for you. Lower your left ear towards your left shoulder and reach your right arm out to the side. Begin to externally and internally rotate your right shoulder, feeling the movement coming from your back and your shoulder. Letting the weight of your head kind of give you a big stretch on the right side of your neck. And bring your right hand behind you, reach your left arm up. Bend your left elbow, reach down your back. Stay here, or see if you can bring your right elbow across even more and bend your elbow, reach your right hand up towards your left hand. Maybe find a little bind. Then round your spine and find a little back bend. Go back and forth. Release your hands, roll out the shoulders, lower your right ear towards your right shoulder, reach your left arm out, begin to externally and internally rotate your shoulder back and forth. Bring your head back up, bring your left arm up in the air, bend your elbow, reach your hand down your back, reach your right hand behind your back, puff up into your back. And stay here, or bring your right elbow in a little further, reach your hand up your back, and maybe your hands will touch. And do some cat-cows here. And release your hands, bring your hands forward, and come on into puppy pose. So walk your knees back, balance your hips over your knees, come up onto your finger pads so that your arms are off the floor. And sink your chest down as much as you can. Keep your shoulders hugging in towards each other. And then slide your hands back, stretch your left leg out, reach your left ribs up, and then keeping your ribs lifted, reach your left arm over your ear. Then reach your arm and leg up, bring your elbow to touch your knee and straighten out, circle forward, elbow to knee, straighten out, circle forward. One more time, elbow to knee, stretch out, circle forward, and come back into your tabletop. And just move around here. Stretch your right leg back, reach your left arm up, reach your ribs up toward the sky, and then reach your left arm over your head. And lift your arm and leg up, bend your elbow to touch your knee, reach back, circle around, come together again, elbow to knee, reach back, circle around, elbow to knee. One more time, reach back, circle around, and this time step back into down dog. Inhale, reach the right leg up, and do that same external rotation of the hip and internal rotation. Next time you're externally rotated, step your leg out to the side about halfway forward. Begin to shift your weight. I'm shifting it on a diagonal between the two legs. You could try and shift it more back behind you. So you can just play around with that. Now from here, we're going to flip over into Wild Thing. So shift your weight into your left hand, pick your right leg up, swing it behind you, lift your hips up, and come back to your down dog. Inhale, reach the left leg up. Externally rotate your hip, internally rotate back and forth. Next time your hip is externally rotated, swing your leg out to the side. and stretch back and forward. Then we're going to flip over into Wild Thing. So bring your left leg up and around, weight in your right hand, reach your hips toward the sky, and stretch back to Downward Facing Dog. Inhale, reach the right leg up. Externally rotate your hip and step your foot all the way forward. By your hands, rotate the back heel down, open up, triangle. Firm up your legs, squeeze your glutes in towards each other. Reach your fingers toward the sky. And reach your arm forward, lift your back heel up. Bend your knee forward, coming into crescent lunge, rise up. And cactus your elbows, wiggle out through your fingers. And stretch your front knee forward. And now see if you can straighten the front leg and bend the back knee and reach back. And come forward again. And back again. You want to make sure your feet are at least hip distance apart, because this is hard enough to balance as it is. But if your feet are too close together, it'd be really, really challenging. So inhale forward. Make sure your knee is tracking over your toes. Exhale back, bend the back knee. You can reach forward and back and forward. Now spin the back heel open, coming into Warrior Two. Reach back, reverse your warrior. Straighten your front leg and come forward into triangle. Open up. And lower your hand down, step back into down dog. Inhale, reach the right leg up, left leg up. Externally rotate your hip. Swing your leg out to the side and step it forward in between your hands. Rotate the back foot open, triangle, open up here. Lower the top hand down, lift the back heel up, crescent lunge, rise up. And cactus your elbows, puff your heart up. And then drive your knee forward, reaching your arms back, and straighten your front leg, bend your back knee, reach your arms forward. And just go forward and back. And then rotate open, coming into Warrior Two. Reach back, reverse your warrior. And come all the way forward, back into triangle. Reach the top arm forward, step back, down dog. Walk your feet forward. Lift and spread all your toes. Lower the toes down, lift the heels up. Lower the heels down, lift the front of the foot up. Keep the toes spreading apart as much as you can. And pressing down through the tripod of your foot, inhale, rise all the way up. Then exhale, hands to your heart. Just pause for a moment in your Tadasana. Roll out the shoulders. Reverse the direction. On your next inhale, reach your left knee up as you reach your arms up. Open your knee out to the side, cross your left ankle above your right knee and sink down. Inhale, pull up into tree pose. Exhale, reach back, Warrior Three. Step back into Warrior Two, reach back, reverse your warrior. Come back through Warrior Two, swing the back arm forward, crescent lunge, and step forward into your Tadasana. Take a moment to pause. Maybe shift your weight back and forth. Come back to neutral. On your inhale, pull the right knee up. Exhale, cross your right ankle above the left knee, sink down. Inhale, back up, pull your leg up into tree pose. Reach back for warrior three. Step back into warrior two, reach back, reverse your warrior. Come back through warrior two, pick the back heel up, crescent lunge. Step forward into your Tadasana. Just kind of shake things around a little bit. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Step back to plank. Hug in as you lower down. Rise up, cobra, open up here. Press your feet into the floor. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, rise up again. Exhale, reach forward as you lower. Really activate your legs by trying to press your toes into the floor, open up. Exhale, lower down. Press back, down dog. Inhale the right leg up. Exhale, step forward between your hands. Rotate the back heel down for warrior one, rise up. Try and square your hips as much as you can. Press down through the back heel, drive forward through the front knee. Interlace your hands behind your back. And start to lean forward. Keep the back, keep a little bit of a posterior pelvic tilt. Then float up into warrior three. Try and puff your back up into your arms. Lift your back leg up high. Step back, warrior two, open up. Reach back, reverse your warrior. Come forward, resting your forearm on your thigh or reaching your bottom arm forward and do some big circles. Circle back, reverse your warrior again. And we'll cartwheel the arms, coming into standing splits, or down dog splits, sorry. Then we'll step the right foot forward, coming into standing splits, left leg goes up. Maybe walk your hands back and really reach out through your toes. Step back, down dog. Inhale the left leg up. Exhale, step it all the way forward. Rise up, warrior one. Interlace your fingers behind your back. Reach back through your heel and forward through your knee. And start to lean your body forward until your back foot gets light and you can float it up into warrior three. Bow over your leg. Bow forward, reach the back leg up, and step it back into warrior two. Reach back, reverse your warrior. Come back through warrior two, spin the back heel up. Lower your hands down, step back, down dog splits, and step forward into standing splits. Lower your top leg down. Press into the earth, inhale, rise all the way up. And exhale, hands to your heart. You'll toe your feet apart a little bit and sink your hips into a squat. Maybe coming all the way down into Malasana. And slowly lower your hips to the ground as you hug your knees in. Bring your legs to 90 degrees or straighten your legs. Maybe grab your legs wherever they'll reach. Could be your feet or your ankles or your calves. And bend your knees, hug your knees in towards your chest. Just float your toes off the ground. And slowly start to roll back, extending out, coming onto your back. And hug your knees into your chest again. Circle your knees around your hips in both directions. Place your feet on the floor. Shift your hips over to the right. Open your arms out to the side and stretch your left leg out. Pull your right knee in as close to your chest as you can and straighten your leg. Take your left hand to the outside of your right leg, wherever it will reach, and twist your right leg over to the left. Rotate your upper body back to the right. And stay here or bend your bottom knee, reach for your foot. And just do all the little movements here to explore what happens in your hip, in your quads, wherever it might be, wherever your body's telling you, oh, I'm awake now. If you were holding your left foot, release it now. Come back onto your back. Shift your hips toward the center of your mat. Grab your foot or your ankle, your right foot or your ankle with your right hand. Place your left hand on your hip bone and open your right leg out to the right. Keep pressing the back left thigh in toward the ground. Bring your leg back and you can give your foot a little massage. If you want, you could try threading the fingers of your right hand between your right toes from the top of your foot. And just snuggle them in as tightly as you can. Spreading out the toes is a really good thing to do because most people have tapered shoes and it's not tapered toe boxes. It's not so good for your feet. And you can flex and extend. You could massage with both hands. And bend your knee, release your fingers, coming into a half happy baby. Release your legs, point your toes, and reach out through your toes as you lower your foot all the way down. Shift your hips to the left. Bring your left leg up. Bring it as close as you can to your chest, just using your muscles. And then take your right hand to the outside of your left leg. Open your left arm out to the side. And slowly twist your left leg over to the right. Twist your upper body back to the left. You could turn your head to the left as well. And again, make those little movements. You could stay here, or you could bend your right knee, squeezing your heel into your hip. Reach for your foot with your hand. And just move around here, play around. If you're holding your right foot, release your foot, extend your leg, come back onto your back. Square your hips, straighten your right leg, take your left hand to the outside of your left foot. Keep your right thigh reaching toward the floor as you open your left leg out to the left. Keeping your legs active. The goal is not to touch the floor because most of us don't have that kind of openness in our hips, which is not a bad thing at all. And bring your leg back up again. You can massage your foot with both hands. You can always bend your knee if you can't reach your foot. And if you want, you could thread the fingers of your left hand in between your left toes. Just explore here. Our feet have 26 bones, 33 joints, and over 100 tendons and ligaments. So they were made to move. And release your fingers, bend your knee, coming into a half happy baby. Release your leg, float it up, point your toes, and slowly reach out through your toes as you lower down. Just take a moment to relax. Now shift your hips to the right. Walk your legs to the left, crossing your right ankle above your left ankle, but try to keep your right hip down. So we're not rolling forward, we're trying to keep the hip down. And shimmy your shoulders over to the left, and you can hold your right wrist with your left hand. So we're in Banana Asana. And just let everything relax. And we'll pause here for a few more breaths. Come on back to center. Shift your hips to the left. Reach your legs over to the right, crossing your left ankle above your right knee. And reach your arms over to the right, curling into the right side body, opening up the left side body. Come on back to center. Center your hips and your shoulders. Hug your knees into your chest. And float your arms and legs up into dead bug pose. Let everything relax. Notice if your low back is flat on the floor or if it has a little arch. And see if you can flatten it without putting a lot of effort into it or a lot of strain. Just flatten your low back. And then begin to circle your wrists, your ankles. Bend your knees into your chest and stretch out for a short savasana, letting everything relax and let go. Focus on your exhales being longer than your inhales. And really a deep surrendering, which isn't necessarily easy to do, but it's so healthy for you. Letting go of tension, letting go of the things that we can't change. And you can stay in Savasana as long as you like. Or if you're running out of time or you just want to come back up, make your way back up to a comfortable seat. Thank you so much for joining me for this practice today. I hope that you enjoyed it and your whole body feels like alive, but also relaxed. I would love to hear a comment from you, share this with your friends, and hope to see you again soon. Bye.